everybody, welcome back. This is episode 6 of CBA Talk. I am Chris Johnson.
I am Cedric Johnson, known as Coach Said.
Now, yesterday, Saturday, it was November 12th. We had a good fight.
Some good fights on, man.
We had my boy
On the zone.
Montana Love versus a dude named Steve Spark. Yeah, it was Steve Spark.
Which was a strong, exciting guy.
Yeah, it was a good fight. Really good fight. But, you know, I did want to see those guys fight, but there was one guy that that caught my eye. There's this young fighter, came from New Jersey by the name of Raymond Ford.
Up and coming.
I've been keeping my eye on him for, a while. I first saw him on the George Kambosos and Timofino Lopez fight. It was the undercard. Okay. He fought some boy. I think he beat him by decision. He's a tough fighter, very tough fighter. 13-0 with one draw. His last fight that he had on undercarded, he knocked this boy out round 8. Great, hit him with a hook, put him to the ground.
Man, so this kid fought up under the Love fight, right?
Yeah, he fought
on the undercard of the Zone.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Great
up and
fighter.
coming prospect.
He's a very, very good fighter. He's in the featherweight division,
okay.
126.
Yeah, 126. We see who out there for this young kid, man.
Yeah, he's a good fighter, man.
Yeah, I seen that. That was an awesome job he did.
I don't think that he should call out any names right now at the moment because he's still very young in his career.
Right.
But he should keep on doing what he's doing. Keep knocking those boys out. Because I'm keeping my eye on you, Raymond. I really am. I follow his Instagram and all that. I keep an eye on him. I see what he posts here and there. Sharp kid. Very sharp kid.
Yeah,
and he's in shape.
I know, man. I seen him perform, man. Nice kid. Actually, he's in back of us right now. The kid, he put on some nice boxing skills on this young man that he fought against.
Yeah, he was in there boxing that boy, Raymond Ford, I can't wait to see what you do. I'm keeping my eye on you, man. You a young prospect. You're going to become a world champion one day, man. Just stay focused.
Stay hard working.
Stay focused, man. And folks, the final fight that we watched yesterday, it was the main event. It was my boy Montana Love versus Steve Spark for the WBA Super Lightweight Championship.
Yes, it was. I'm going to tell you something. The night could not have gone worse for the Cleveland brand.
Yeah, Love was not lucky that night. He really wasn't. Fight started off pretty well. Montana Love was doing his thing. It was until, I think what started was the knockdown, to be honest with you.
Yeah. The knockdown came, it was the second round.
Yeah,
the second round. I'm going to tell you something. He fought a tough kid, Steven Sparks.
Yeah, I never heard about him until
He's
now,
from Australia.
Dang.
And that kid came to fight that night. I'm going to tell you, the crazy thing about it, it was like one of those grudge fights, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think
Montana Love,
he got kind of frustrated, because Sparks brought that action, man.
Yeah.
And it was crazy.
I don't know if Love underestimated him or anything like that, but all I know is that Montana Love, he was not. It looked like he had a game plan, but it looked like the game plan didn't work.
Yeah.
So it's like he had to think of something because once he got knocked down, I think that was the first time he's ever been on the canvas. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think.
Yeah. He overcame his second round knockout.
Yeah.
Knockdown.
Yeah.
Okay. Then he came back, and Sparks, the kid was working close. It was like, he kept that pressure on him in the inside, and he made it a hard fight for him.
That's where Love was struggling at. I noticed that in the fight. I noticed there were some weaknesses that Montana Love was showing in that fight. There were some weaknesses that he was showing.
Yes, it was.
He was struggling on the inside. As you noticed in the fight, if you look back at the fight, every time that Spark got inside, Montana Love was struggling.
Yes, he was.
He might have good defense here and there, but he did not know what to do once Spark got in there and started throwing inside. He didn't know what to do.
The defense was good. He didn't throw a lot of uppercuts. I mean, he threw some I think a couple uppercuts wide out, but not close. He didn't show a lot of inside boxing.
Yeah, he did.
Inside work, which is, if you want to stay in that pocket, he kept his distance. Whether he could have stayed with Steve Sparks, because that kid was, on him, throwing the body shots. He was elbowing him. Giving him an elbow, kind of turning him around and just kind of toughening. It was a difficult fight for Love.
Yeah, and he didn't know what to do. But I will give it to Montana Love though. After that knockdown, he did start boxing a little bit. Like the third, and the fourth and the fifth, he was boxing him, doing good. But the thing about it is that when you're on the inside, especially the type of style that he has, you got to know how to fight on the inside. Because you're going to fight pressure fighters. You're going to fight fighters that know how to fight on the inside.
Yep.
So because if he was getting clipped by this boy, and he's what 16-2.
What his record is? Love is Love is 18-1.
Yeah. And then
with one draw, and then Sparks just picked up his 14-2.
Oh,
14-2.
Oh, so if he's getting beat by him, just imagine a fighter that knows how to fight inside, that's known for his inside fighting. That's Montana Love's gonna struggle with that. So, he didn't really. And I just want to say this: I think Montana Love's just a little overrated. I be hearing his name here and there. I think,
Yeah, I know you mentioned that.
Montana. And, I feel like he's a little overrated. Which there's nothing bad about that, but it's just Montana. He needs some work.
Well, and it shows. If y'all tune in and seen this fight, that was Saturday, November the 12th. It shows, man, and I couldn't agree with you on that, because you got a kid coming from Australia who's hungry, who want that WBA Intercontinental belt, and he came and got it. And it was a weird fight, and we about to get into this, man, because
it's the way that it ended.
This fight was like, he got cut. He was dropped.
It was dropped.
He got cut.
It was that headbutt.
And eventually,
that's where it all started.
Disqualified.
See, it started from the knockdown, but then the 6th is when that headbutt happened.
Yeah.
That headbutt changed the whole fight.
Oh, changed the whole
game. I knew when I saw the cut, because I knew, especially when Love went in the corner when the doctor called him. He was like, they were talking for a bit. I knew once Sparks saw that little cut, he was on the attack, and that's exactly what he tried to do. He tried to take advantage of that cut.
Yes, he did.
And it ended in a disqualification.
Well, I think the cut was it was right under the left. Was it left eye?
I think it was the left.
Yeah, it was under the left eye.
I think it was the left. Yeah.
And he went over to the doctor. Him and the doctor was it kind of took a long time for them to figure out.
Yeah.
I think Love probably wanted to go to those scorecards, man.
Really?
I'm telling you, because it took long, and Love was kind of debating, well, I think, how you think, Doc? Is this good, Doc? Or how you? And it was this compared.
Love would have lost if he took the scorecards. He would have lost.
It would. That's a good question because Sparks was up a little bit. It was a good fight.
Yeah.
They never did show the rounds, so we don't know where they was, and it was a sixth round when this cut happened. This when all the chaos kind of went crazy.
That's where it happened, because obviously I noticed Montana Love's a southpaw.
Yes, he is.
So
yes,
when a southpaw and a person that fights right-handed, some headbutts could happen.
It's common.
I see why it happened, because obviously when a fighter with opposite style goes against a person with an opposite stance and all that, there's gonna be a headbutt.
Yeah.
Some heads are gonna clash.
Or you got another guy, especially when you got two fighters that's fighting inside.
Yeah.
And they stand right there in the middle of the ring, which these two guys was fighting in the middle of the ring. That what made the fight interesting. Now, this is one of the best fights I've seen Love fight.
This one is the best fight. I'll give it to him. This one is the best.
And I think he underestimated that Steve Sparks.
He had to. With the style of Montana Love, you got to be able to know how to work on the inside and outside, especially for his style. He's a counterpuncher. That's what I noticed he is, because he was doing well until he got inside. That's where everything started to happen. And I want to ask this question to people out there. Do you think the push that caused Spark to go over the ropes was intentional? Do you think he did that on purpose to cause something? Do you think he did it just out of reflex? What do you think Love was trying to do? Do you think he was trying to? I feel like.
Well, that's what happened after the cut. After Love got cut, okay, he got frustrated.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, and He grabbed it. Well, it was kind of like a punch going into against the ropes, and he put his elbow over and kind of.
Yeah,
I mean, his
it was his glove. His glove. He was
his
like
glove, and I think his force kind of shoved him over. Which is shoved him was a result of Sparks being sent over out of the ring, and he landed on his feet.
Yeah, which I was like, whoa.
But he got back
And
up
the funny thing
and
is-
got right back in the ring.
Funny thing is, it was right in front of Eddie Hearns too. It was
Yeah,
right in front of
yeah.
him. Eddie Hearns saw all of that right in front of him.
He got right back up, and it's a question I want to ask you. He got right back up, got in the ring, and the referee.
Yes, referee.
What the referee do?
Terrible,
man?
terrible decision by the referee. See, this is the thing about referees nowadays. It's I feel like they panic too much. I feel like they start thinking stuff and they just automatically just
Yeah.
because once the referee says it, it's over. It's officially
Yeah,
over.
you better believe it, and they ain't going back.
Which
They ain't
is
going back to
crazy.
the regular.
Because once that happened, instant disqualification for Love, which I did not agree with. What the ref should have done is he should have brought Love to the middle of the ring, 1 point, and then let the fight continue.
I agree with you because Sparks was ready to fight.
Yes.
I could see if he got injured or if the kid jumped right back in the ring and was like, come on, let's go. And the ref already done made his decision to disqualify him for pushing him over the ring. That's why I got to be a rematch.
Yeah,
and I'm looking forward to seeing. I hope Eddie Hearns put that together.
Yep, there got to be a rematch.
I'm telling you, it was awesome. It was an awesome fight, and I want to see another rematch. So the winner, you know, you have Sparks walked away like he should with that belt, and not taking anything from him. I think he's a tough kid, especially coming off a record. You know what I'm saying, of 14-2, and man, so ideal thing, man. So you got rematch gonna be coming up, and we'll see where's it at.
There has to be a rematch. So the only way for this to end, because I know the coach or someone in the corner was talking about elbows and all that. Listen, the only way to end it, to all this controversy, everything with the back and forth, is a rematch.
Yes, it is. Quick question: how you think his boxing skills, Love boxing skills?
His skills are he had good skills.
As being a southpaw.
Because he has good skills and all that, but you know, it's just some things that he needs to work on. Because I want to give an example out. Floyd Mayweather. He knows how to box on the outside and on the inside. He has a plan.
Okay.
It looked like Love didn't have a plan because he was getting caught. He was getting caught with some shots.
Yeah, he was.
So
he was.
It's like, you know, when you go against a certain fighter like that, you gotta have a plan. You gotta know what to do if that plan doesn't work.
I like his style. He sit back a little bit. He know how to box. Powerful guy. He just got outboxed by this Steve Sparks.
Yeah.
And he brought him to the test, man. So that's okay. I'm looking forward to see a rematch. Before I even say anything, they both young fighters. I know they in their late 20s, so they still have time. But I'm looking to see Love redeem himself, and I hope he get a rematch with Sparks, and that fight goes from there.
Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we end this episode, Dad, I want to test your boxing knowledge.
Oh, man, here we go.
Now, everybody.
Send it to me.
I've been doing my research, and I got 3 questions for you. And I got on my notes here the questions with the answers to see if you're right. I want to test your boxing knowledge, all right?
I'm ready.
Now,
I think I am.
Everybody at home, you can also answer questions too. You can, right when I ask the question, you can pause the video. You can put your answers down in the comments below to see if you're right. Now, Dad, let me think of the first question. Let me go
Okay,
ahead.
give it to me. Be light on me, champ.
Let me go ahead and say the first question for you. All right.
Oh, man.
Dad,
What you got?
who was the only opponent to give, well, it wasn't really official, but I'm still gonna say, because if you were to look back at the fight, everyone's gonna say that it was a knockdown. Who was the first person to counter Floyd, I think it was Pretty Boy at the time, Floyd Mayweather, and to give him his first official knockdown with him touching his glove on the canvas? Who was the only opponent to do that to him? To make
Okay, I know that answer, but
What?
It wasn't a knockdown because they didn't count it.
They didn't count it, but if everyone were to look at the fight, they would consider that knockdown.
And I know who it was.
Who was it?
I'm gonna see. It was because Floyd never been knocked down. It was Zab Judah.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people, that was a good fight, and that was crazy. That was crazy, as you mentioned that, man, because I think they kind of got in a big fight with Roger Mayweather and fight, and then that fight continued, just like the fight we just talked about with Love and Sparks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They had that fight go on, man, and it was crazy, but Floyd Mayweather did kind of sweep his glove across the canvas. Referee shook it off, did count as a knockdown.
Zab countered him, and Floyd went back. That glove, the ref didn't catch it. If I caught that, that's a knockdown.
But they didn't do it, so it was Zab Judah.
But Zab Judah is the one who made Floyd Mayweather touch his glove on the canvas. And he cost him.
What's next, man? While I'm ready.
All right.
My brain's sharp right now.
Let me think of something harder for you. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna do this one. I got this before. What opponent broke Ali's jaw in their fight?
Okay.
And this is Muhammad Ali, by the way.
That was before your time, son.
Yes, it was. I've been doing my studies.
I remember that fight. I was young as well. Ken Norton.
How did you get that?
Boy.
I thought you were going to say Joe Frazier or something.
Nah. Joe knocked him out.
And talking,
with a left hook.
Okay. Mentioning, Joe Frazier. This is my third and final question for you, Dad.
Okay.
There's no way he can get this. There's no way.
Give it to me.
How many times did George Foreman knock down Joe Frazier in their heavyweight fight?
That's an easy one because I'm going to tell you.
Wait.
That's an easy one because I watched
that's no way you
all...
and
it's
the first fight, by the way.
I read George Foreman's book, which is a great book, and I've seen Ali and George Foreman fight, and
there's no way. Okay, all right.
He knocked him down.
No.
6 times.
Okay. Okay.
6 times.
Well, I'm done with my questions.
He knocked you down 6 times, man.
All right, I'm done with my questions then. I don't know how
he was a bad man.
I don't know how you got that.
Okay.
I don't know how you got that.
I'm gonna have some for you one day.
Yeah, I'm gonna answer them. I'm gonna get them right. I don't know how you got. I don't know how you got that Ali one.
I should get it, man. Come on, man. I've been boxing all my life.
But you cheated.
I didn't
Cheated. Cheated. That's what you did, Dad. There's no way you should have got those questions. But I'll give it to you. All right, I'll give it to you. Good. I'll give it to you, Dad.
You should.
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to him. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have to say about the Montana Love fight and everything that has happened with the disqualification and the controversy. I want to see a rematch.
Me too. I think it'll be one.
I want to see a rematch.
Eddie Hearn's going to make it happen.
Yeah, so I am Chris Johnson.
I am Cedric Johnson, known as Coach Said.
We'll be releasing new videos weekly about boxing and boxing news and more upcoming fighters. So, that's really it, Dad.
And we out.